Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Sonic Love. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing the performance of the Powkiddy X18S Ultra or Black, whichever you want to call it. Go through the settings and show you what games are possible, and I will be doing a series of maybe 2 to 3 videos over GameCube and Wii performance. Now, not everything will work, and obviously there is so many versions and iterations of Dolphin Emulator, and it's about eliminating the process really of just finding out which one is the best to get the best performance that you can possibly get. The version that I will be showing today is a Dolphin MMJR, and it's the version 11460. This is the one that I found to be the best to use on the Powkiddy X18S Ultra or Black, but also there is many different versions, so there is still lots to test. I will continue to do that because this should work over the RG505 and also the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. So without further ado, let's jump into some gameplay and let's see what we can get out of this chipset. So it will be a lengthy video this, guys, and this is not just showcasing the performance, but it'll also be going through and showing you how to change the settings and what to do in order to get the best performance that you can possibly get out of the unit itself. So I'm going to use a harder one to run, so let's kick things off with something really difficult. So let's go with Sonic Colors. So if you hold your finger down on this, you'll see that it comes up with a series of options. You can go to Game Systems. In the game systems, you have your general graphic settings, but this is tailored to the individual game, which is good. So for this purpose of this demonstration, I'll go to graphic settings. You can see I'm using OpenGL. Let's put show FPS. But what you can do is I'll also show you that you can go into the game itself and still have the options available to you in the game. It doesn't save. As you can see, I've used the overlay here. You'll see that I will have to change and remap the buttons accordingly. So what I can do is I can go into settings by hitting the back button here. I want to choose a GameCube controller. It will change the layout. Then I'm going to hit back again. I'm going to go to the 3 buttons. I'm going to go to adjust. So this is an incredibly difficult game to run. I think I've got it to a mixture of 30, dropping it down to 22. In the next video, guys, I'll be testing out Dolphin Mobile. But in certain parts of the game, it does run full speed, like now. It's a shame. It's running about 75%. If we could just hit that 30 FPS constantly, we have no problem. But it's about sitting between 24 and 28. Hence the slowdown in the music. As you can see now, it's playing full speed. back to being quite slow. Okay, so if we go to the settings, as you can see that I have everything, excuse me, as you can see I have everything turned on, all hacks on. Unless it goes off quite quick. I have all hacks on. That wasn't on, so let's turn that one on. So what we can do is we can change the clock speed. So we're going to take it down to about 75% and see what we get performance wise. So as you can see, we have an improvement on the sound. And we're getting about an extra 2 frames more. And now we're at 28 frames. Now we're up to 30. But it's running a lot better than what it was before. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do it again and we'll take it down a little bit lower from 75. We'll take it down to 55. Okay, let's try it again. As you can see, it's running a lot better, and they're my preferred settings to play Sonic Colors. Is it perfect? No. Is it playable? Definitely. Okay, love to know what you think, guys, but I think that's playable. 29 to 30 frames per second. I think that's definitely playable. You will get stutters and you will get a build-up of shader cache when you go into new levels, but they're the best settings that I can possibly do on here and to get it running the way it does. Let's move on to another game. I did get this running at 30 frames per second. I'm not too sure about the later levels. I will have to play it through in order to do that. But I got it at a quite steady 30 frames with the occasional odd dip. So if we just go into the settings. Okay, so once in the settings again, everything is on. I've actually done the emulated clock speed at 115. And this seemed to be the best settings in order to get it running. Very nice. Let's go into save. And let's go to load. So I got it running at a nice steady 30 frames per second, which is really, really nice. When you go outside or into a new area, it does build up some shader cache. But once it settles, it all runs at 30. Even in all the built up areas around here. Even if we pan round, you can see that it is smooth. But even running around, it is still 30 frames. So 115 on the clock speed, emulated clock speed, which is a very, very nice steady 30. You do get the occasional stutter when you go into new areas, but that, as I say, is just the build-up of shader cache. And even when you look into the little town in the distance, it will normally slow down, but in this case and scenario at these settings, we don't have any of that. As you can see, very, very stable 30. There may be other versions of Dolphin, which you may get even more performance from. I'm not too sure, but as I say, I will do a further video testing out all versions, or the majority of all the versions. I know the mobile's good because you can take it down to below 1 native, but I don't really want to play games lower than one native really, because it just looks like an absolute mess and horrible. So yes, it's a nice feature to have, but it makes your games look terrible, and I prefer the fidelity of the graphics really, and maybe a sacrifice a little bit of frame rate. I know other people are different, but that's just my personal choice. So once you go into a new area like that, stutter happen there, but as I say, it will be a continuous 30, even if you jump around and go round. Okay, let's move on to the other Zelda game. Okay, so I'm going to show you quickly the settings. So on Vulcan back end, and we're going to use 125, see how that goes. So we've got no buffering or skipping or frame drops through the cutscenes, which is nice. Sound is really good, and we're a steady 30 frames. Let's skip this. Again, a nice 30, but let's go through the woods here, where normally it slows down dramatically. But again, we're at a nice, consistent, steady 30. And for what I've played right up to this, guys, it continues to do so as well, with just the occasional cache building, really more than anything, but you're going to get a good steady 30 frames, which is really nice. Let's quickly go through. And as you can see, the cutscenes are very nice at 30, which is really nice. So let's cut them, jump on the horse, and see how it is in the town centre. I've noticed if you do use the widescreen hack, you get a lot of glitches, so I tend not to use the widescreen hacks. Not in all games, but a good 70% of games they will just mess up on the edges. But as you can see, guys, it is a steady and consistent 30 frames. Okay, let's move on to something else. Let's try out some Super Mario Sunshine. There's no rocket science to it, guys. You just got to make sure you turn on all the hacks from the menu pull down. Don't really mess with all the other settings. Always do it from the in-game menu pull down, and just change the Vulcan or the back end, but just make sure Vulcan or OpenGL. Just like that, let's load it. Okay, so we normally get quite a lot of slowdown, but as you can see, yeah, it's really, really nice. I say, with coming into a new area, you will get a build-up of shader cache. But I got it running a really nice steady 30 frames. So let me show you what it is on the settings. Make sure you copy them. These two I turned off, and everything, and this one I turned off as well. But that seems to make it run at a nice sturdy 30. Little cyberpunk reference there. Yeah, as you can see, it's running really, really nice. So when you come into the bigger areas, what you can do is go into the settings, turn on the settings and take it down to 75. But you will have a nice experience playing Super Mario Sunshine. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. That is the best thing to do. This is the best version of Dolphin that I have found that will actually play the games at a really, really nice speed. You do have to toggle with the emulator clock speed, but again, I will go through as many games as possible in another video, and then I'll show you what it is on how many games that I actually got to run. But I just thought I'd do a quick settings guide just to get you up and running on your new device, whether it be the 505, whether it be the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, or whether it be the Powkiddy X18S. If there is any games you wish to see tested running on Wii, or whether it be for GameCube, then please don't hesitate to pop it in the comments. And as always, guys, take care.